Gee, I tell you what, I'm angry about this homeless issue in Martin Place in Sydney. I'm angry at the way politicians have talked about it, and I'm angry about the utterly uninformed commentary by the media. The New South Wales Premier says the homeless make her feel completely uncomfortable. Well, just imagine how uncomfortable those homeless feel. I'm sure they're uncomfortable sleeping on the street.
I'm completely uncomfortable with that intensity. We know fax workers have been there.
Temperature drops to 7 degrees. They're uncomfortable about not being able to pay rent and being kicked onto the streets. They're uncomfortable about the violent home life that's put them there. They're uncomfortable about living with mental illness. But in spite of all these things, the discussion about the homeless turned feral. It sought to dehumanise them. It sought to paint them as bludgers.
And how do they know or where we come from? We know all of us.
It's watching all those people with wealth and privilege get stuck into the homeless. Just what sort of society is it we're living in? Cruel times, folks. Cruel times. Let me tell you a few facts about these homeless people. Yeah, there might be a ratbag or two among them, but that doesn't mean the rest aren't genuine. And yes, some accommodation was offered to them, but only temporary and with strict conditions. This time next month, they'd be back on the streets, back where they started. What people like me who have worked with the homeless for 30 years know is that getting them off the streets is hard work. Making it happen takes two crucial things. It takes long-term government-supplied accommodation together with support services for those who get it. The statistics show that when the homeless get long-term accommodation plus support services, 90% of them remain off the streets. 90%. The homeless aren't there by choice. The homeless aren't protesters. The homeless aren't political. The homeless are simply trying to get by.
And under the Crown Lands Act, we would have to then issue warrants to vulnerable homeless people to get them to move.
Government to do what we know works. Uncomfortable? She ought to be bloody ashamed.